It is time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now. And you never know, it could be yours.
It could be yours. Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is. Strawberry Letter.
Nephew, thank you. Subject: he's so good, yet so bad. Dear Steve and Shirley, I'm in my mid-30s and I've been with my man for 5 years, married for 2 years. I love my man greatly and he treats me like a queen and has accepted my child as his own. The only issue I have is that he does not listen. When we have disagreements, it's mostly because of the way he says things to me. I have to bring it to his attention and tell him how it makes me feel. He usually says, well, you did this or that to make me say things like that to you. That's not the way to communicate to anyone, and he doesn't get it. To keep the peace, I have to shift into I'm sorry mode and focus on his feelings because I don't want to crush his ego. If I ever do anything to offend him, I quickly apologize, but he won't do the same for me. I tell him all the time, if I don't have a safe space to express my feelings, then I shut down, and he doesn't seem to understand that or want to understand it. He told me that most men don't understand how women think, and he's no exception. I don't care about most men. I need for him to listen when I tell him about my feelings and to acknowledge that he hurts my feelings, then correct the behavior and stop doing it. I feel like I'm slowly shutting down emotionally because I always try to take care of his feelings and he doesn't care how I feel. He tells me to get over it because I'm always complaining about little stuff. It's like I'm one of his homies and I'm not supposed to get hurt by him snapping at me or yelling at me for small things I do. I think if he's irritated, we should talk it through. How can he be so good and so bad at the same time? Am I fighting a losing battle here? Well, I say this, I'll say this. I'll put it like that. What you are fighting is a battle of wanting this man to change and trying to get him to change it. He's not going to do it because he doesn't want to change. This is who he is. He's a stubborn man. He has old school values about women. He has a mean streak if he's talking to you crazy, and he thinks he's doing the right thing. You are doing nothing wrong. It's perfectly natural to want to be heard by your husband, seen by your husband, but you always give in. You say you don't want to crush his ego. But you've got to figure out how to get what you want out of this man. I think he's always been like this, and you thought you could change him. Like most women think they can change their men. It was one of those red flags that you ignored because he took in you and your child, and you say he treats you like a queen, although I don't see how you can say that when you wrote this letter. But you still got to stand up for yourself and use your voice. You're not making him do anything like he says. He talks to you that way because that's who he is. He doesn't hear you because he's not trying to hear you. You can't go on like this. You don't really tell us what your disagreements and arguments are about. So it's really hard to offer any type of solution other than marriage counseling to learn how to better communicate with each other. Steve?
I know exactly what's going on here. I'm not even, that's a no-brainer for me. I know exactly what's going on. He's so good, yet so bad. She's in her mid-30s. She's been with her husband 5 years, married for 2. He treats her like a queen. He's accepted her child as his own. That means he's a good dad, a good father, a good husband, a good provider. That's what that means. And that's how you make a woman feel like a queen. The problem is he doesn't know how to communicate. Listen to me. This man communicates this way to you because he has been allowed to. He's done it before. He's always done it this way. And before you, somebody didn't tolerate it. That's why they broke up, because you ain't the first. And now you're trying to tolerate this person who doesn't have communication skills. And I'm just going to tell it to you like this. He usually says, well, if you do this or that to make me say things to you like that. Okay. That's always the case. And then he told you, he said, most men don't understand how women think, and he's no exception. That's the truest statement in this letter. Most men do not know how women think. That's a fact. That's an impossible thing to figure out. The man who could write a book, This Is How Women Think, would be a billionaire. But you can't write this book because you don't know how they think. And you can think you know if you want to. They'll change it. I promise you, they will change it. So this excuse that he gave you is it's the ongoing thing for all men. Here is your problem, and we'll get into it when we come back. The reason this man talks to you this way over and over and has no disregard for your feelings at all is because he has been allowed to, and he suffers no consequences. You always say, I'm sorry if you say he gets irritated. So he has suffered no consequences. So therefore, the behavior continues. That's it in a nutshell. I have solved it. When we come back, we'll go over some consequences.
All right. Hang on, Steve. We'll have part 2 of your response coming up at 23 minutes after the hour. Today's Strawberry Letter subject, he's so good, yet so bad. We'll get back into it right after this.
Hi, this is Felicia Rashad, and you're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Hi, this is Shirley Strawberry, and I'm partnering with The Leave. Let me tell you, it couldn't have come at a better time. I moved some furniture around last weekend in my new place. It turns out that was a really bad idea because all that bending and lifting and pretending I'm still 25 didn't agree with my knees. So I grabbed a Leave because when my body pain shows up, I need something that lasts. With just one pill, a Leave lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed. All right, come on, Steve. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter. The subject is, he's so good, yet so bad.
All right, now, I could recap this letter and take a bunch of time, but let me just get to the main part of this. Ladies, if you're in a relationship with a man who repeatedly does something to you that irritates you, and he's not fixing it, and he does it over and over and over, and in order for you to keep the peace, you usually have to apologize to him to keep it moving. And you don't feel as though you have a safe space to go to in your relationship to discuss your feelings, because when you bring up your feelings, he then turns around and tells you, well, you did this or that, which made me do this. That's your man. And then he turns around and tells you that most men don't understand how women think, and he's no exception. All right, that's the letter in a nutshell. Now, ladies, let me give you the cure for this. Your man performs and acts out bad behavior over and over and over because there is no consequence to his actions, period. I have said this on this show before. Men respond to a few things: pain, reward, and consequence. Those are the only things we respond to, because we are men. We are simple. We respond to pain, we respond to reward, and we respond to consequences. If there is no pain, no reward, no consequences, we're going to do like we want to. And that's every man walking, living, and breathing. This is facts. This ain't no, Steve, you just said, no. I'm telling you the truth. So now in this letter, this man who will not consider your feelings, who snaps at you when he wants to, who says what he wants to say to you, blames you for everything. The reason I said this to you is because you said this or you did that, and never apologized to you and constantly does this to you. It's because he suffers no pain, he gets no reward, or there are no consequences. So now here's the fix. And I'm telling you, ladies, and you can sit there if you want to, until you issue consequences, it will continue. Let me give you an example. Let's say every time your man snaps at you in public, you walk away and just walk off in public. Just leave him standing there in front of whoever he snapped in front of. That's it. You maybe even go get in the car. Or just go over there and start talking to somebody else in the room or something like that. That consequence. Hey, what happened to you? We were standing there talking. No. I have asked you repeatedly not to go off in front of me, in front of nobody else. That's one way. Or, and I don't recommend this, but I've seen this work really efficiently. He snaps, he goes off on you in front of somebody else. You know what I heard the woman say? Who you think you're talking to?
Yes.
That one right there.
That works.
Now, a lot of women won't do that because they don't want to embarrass their husband in front of nobody. But if it continues, who do you think you talking to is a question directly directed to him. That creates a moment of pause. And I promise you the next time he will think about it. Here's another one. On the way home, ain't nobody talking. The quiet car ride is a painful experience.
That works.
All you hear is breathing. In the car. God, dog. Breath in the car. Sudden, so he reach over, touch it with his finger on your hand, snatch your hand right quick. Ah, God, dog. Okay, we know something wrong. When you go home, slamming doors. Ooh, slamming doors. Door slamming, cupboard slamming. Toilet seat slamming, all that. We hear it. We done came in and cut Sports Center on. We trying to forget about it. All of a sudden, doors is slamming. We hear it. Dishes clanging extra loud. No good and well she don't make that much noise. These are called consequences, which creates pain, which gets a result. So, ladies, if you are not going to issue one of three things, pain, reward, or consequence, your man will continue to do. Now, reward is very big now. When your man does something, positive reinforcement works. Baby, thank you so much. I know how hard you're working for this family. Thank you so much. Most men will leave this world and die from lack of appreciation. I have said that, but I don't think people understand it. Being a man is hard. I'm not saying being a woman ain't. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. But reward is important too. But if you're going to issue pain and consequences, you're going to have to balance it with some reward.
All right.
Now, see
Steve,
how Monica made that face over there? See, that's why she, see that I ain't giving no reward. Yeah,
post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. Check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on the free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. You can download it today.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.